Today we talk about Cruella, Disney's new live-action movie. Welcome to Hide and Seek Media. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video, and let's get into this. Today's video is a new type of video for me. Today we're going to be doing a review video about a new movie that just came out called Cruella. Disney's new live-action movie about Cruella de Vil, the villain from 101 Dalmatians. Now, in general, I'm not a fan of these new Disney live-action movies. They're basically taking old cartoons and making them into live movies, and to me, that shows no ingenuity, no creativity, and no new sense of wonderment out of Disney, right? They're just taking the old movies and revamping them. Pretty much the same thing Hollywood is doing in general. So, with that premise, I went into this movie with low expectations. Alright? Lion King was crap. Aladdin was crap. And so I expected Cruella to be crap as well. But I have to say I was very, very surprised at how well the movie was made. And I have to say this, Emma Stone carries that entire movie. Without Emma Stone playing Cruella de Vil, that movie does not play. Okay, it just doesn't go well without Emma Stone as that character. That was the perfect casting for the villain Cruella de Vil. Now, if you haven't watched the movie, I'll try to keep the spoilers down to a minimum, right? And I'll try not to reveal too many details about the movie. But this movie is more of an origin story than it is a remake of 101 Dalmatians. I think this is one of the reasons why I was so pleased with this movie versus the other live-action movies that Disney has made. It's because they went in a different direction with this movie. Like I said, this is more of an origin story about how Cruella de Vil became Cruella de Vil. Alright? And so it's very interesting the way they walk that character into her madness, so to speak, right? So I'll try not to give away too many details, right? But it's very interesting. It's a very interesting take on how Cruella becomes Cruella, right? Because in the movie, her name is Estella, right? And so then she becomes Cruella, throughout the movie. One thing I did not appreciate was their liberty on using Cruella's character to basically introduce Roger and Anita. So if anybody is not familiar with the 101 Dalmatians, okay, Roger and Anita are the two main characters who own the dogs, Pongo and Purdy. Okay, and they meet because Pongo and Purdy, meet at the park or whatever. Now, in the movie, it's an unsaid thing that Cruella is the one that ultimately is responsible for Roger and Anita meeting. Okay, now, if you are familiar with the movie 101 Dalmatians, you'll know that Cruella and Anita were friends from before Anita and Roger met and got married. Okay, so there is that connection. But in this movie, Cruella knows Roger and Anita before Anita and Roger ever meet. So to me, that kind of ruins the story of 101 Dalmatians in a way, because 101 Dalmatians was these two dogs and these two humans, meeting because they're similar and and fall in love and get married and all of that, right? Because they're meant to be whatever. Well, the movie Cruella takes a liberty on that and basically says that Cruella is the reason why these two got together. So that aspect of it, it didn't really sit well with me. Another thing that didn't sit well with me was Jasper and Horace. Okay, in the cartoon movie and even in the live action 101, 102 Dalmatians, Jasper and Horace were basically bumbling idiots. Okay, who the only way they were the only way they were actually accomplishing any crime, right, and getting away with it was if Cruella, planned it for them and helped them or whatever, right? These guys were just moron criminals who were bound and determined to get caught. Well, in the movie Cruella, it's a little different. They're still kind of bumbling, criminals, but they're not so much idiots. And while that made the movie a little more interesting, I didn't like the fact that, again, they took a liberty on something that they should have kept the same. Okay? Jasper and Horace are supposed to be bumbling idiots who ultimately ruin the day for Cruella, right? So that's what they should have been in this movie, and to an extent, there's a part where that does kind of happen, but it's very minimal, and it should have been more. Now, I will say Disney did a good job of sprinkling the comedy in the movie. There were some funny parts, made me laugh. All in all, it was one of Disney's better live-action films of late. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7. I do recommend that you watch it because it is a good movie. And like I said, Emma Stone was fabulous in this movie. I mean, she nailed the essence of Cruella de Vil better than any other actress I think could have nailed it. So, if nothing else, watch this movie for the performance of Emma Stone because that was in itself brilliant, in my opinion. If you already have Disney Plus, wait a month and it'll come out on Disney Plus. I recommend you go watch it. It is a good movie, and it is a very interesting take. One of the things that really struck me about this movie was Disney's dark take on it. Okay, so this was probably one of the darkest movies I've seen Disney make in a long time. I mean, Cruella de Vil is a demented villain. Okay, she's one of the most demented villains in Disney history. Okay, and they chose to make her the hero of this movie. Okay, that's right. This movie has two villains, Cruella de Vil and an even bigger villain, right? That Cruella de Vil has to take down because Cruella is the hero in this movie, even though it is a movie about a villain. So you have to kind of see it from that perspective, okay? She is a villain and a bad person, but she is the hero in this film. Let's make sure we get that clear. And because she's the hero in this film, that took Disney down a dark road that I was not expecting. Pleasantly surprised, but was not expecting. So, in the end, I would recommend watching this movie. Like I said, it's a 7 out of 10. If nothing else, watch it for Emma Stone's performance. Because, like I said, that was great. And be prepared, because there is a little bit of wokeness thrown in your face. But if you can get past that and get through the movie, it is a good movie. So, if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the video and this topic. And I will catch y'all later.